Good evening, campers, and welcome aboard the Starship Nightwish. I am Commander Exorcist, and we're back at it. I am feeling much better. Thank you for the well wishes that I received, and I'm feeling much less angry. I've had a week or so to process the last little bit, and so yeah, it's back to the grind. Out there, just a real quick kind of message out there is Season 5 is underway every Saturday at 12 Central Standard Time, if you're interested, here on the channel. But that's not why you're here today. We're here to talk about Elite Dangerous, Galnet's recent happenings. We all know that the galaxy's favorite, I want to call them anti-Xeno, but I really don't know what they are. And I think that's kind of a sign of evil, is when you really don't know where someone stands. Is Aegis evil, anti-Xeno, or is it anti-human? I think we're going to find out. But as we all expected, pretty easy to tell that since they decided to go with this storyline, which I'm going to try to maintain my contempt for this line of storytelling as best as possible and just kind of press on with the narrative. But we all saw this coming. So we knew that regardless of what came back, whether it was Aegis or some other, my plan, somebody asked me in the comments, and this is my preferred approach to this, would have been something along the lines of a unified defense command, where each superpower was required to give a hard number, a solid commitment of resources. Each of them say 30% of your ground and your space forces in terms of military strength, and then about 3% of your scientific, technological capabilities and research, with the ability to give more as necessary. But we didn't get that. We got Aegis. All right, they're back. So let's talk about this came out yesterday. This came out yesterday. This is the Maelstrom protection technology undergoes testing. The big issue with the Maelstroms is it's not like a giant laser that comes out and nukes your ship. It's the caustic material floating in space. It's the cloud. It literally causes your ship to melt. So what do we do about that? Well, Aegis has a plan for that. Aegis has produced a prototype module that increases a ship's ability to survive within caustic environments. Fantastic. I'm pretty sure this is going to come with. I haven't read this yet, so I think I've read these first two lines. I just kind of copied and pasted it into my display here, so we'll see what happens. But great. We need protection from Thargoid caustic environments. Makes me wonder, haven't we had access to this anti-caustic technology to a certain degree for many, many years? Thargoid probes and caustic-resistant cargo modules? Makes you, whatever, I guess everything's great, right? So, I am not going to try to pronounce that last name, but Professor Alba, head of the newly reformed agency, published this statement. The blueprints provided by Petra Ulmanova have been rapidly developed by Aegis's newly acquired chemical engineers, metallurgists, and ship technicians. Utilizing their combined skills, do the people writing this have a thing with Z's? Like that should be a Z, not an S. Whatever. Utilizing their combined skills, they have constructed a working prototype. Woohoo! This new module functions along similar lines to a heat sink launcher. Oh, of course it does. It is designed to channel the corrosive reaction experienced within a Thargoid maelstrom to specific replaceable anodes prior to ejection, thereby extending a ship's range and operating time. We hope this will allow more data to be acquired about these mysterious objects. That's kind of strange. That'll be interesting to see if we get a little more technical explanation as to how that works, because heat sink technology is really designed to collect the heat that's absorbed by your ship. It's absorbed into a module and it's ejected away from your ship. Is the caustic material? Is it a material? Is it something that can be collected? That's really interesting, and not just like a corrosive effect. It's more of a corrosive material, and that is kind of an interesting turn of things. Aden Tanner, former Admiral Aden Tanner, has volunteered to personally pilot the ship in the live tests taking place this week. Go Aden. That's awesome. Alec Turner would also probably have been a good option, because he likes to fly into dangerous places and scale buildings with SRVs and stuff. Time is of the essence, since the humanitarian cost of the Thargoid invasion rises every day. And that is true. The Thargoids are wiping us out of existence. They are just steamrolling across human space. Now, as they get further away from the maelstroms, they are losing some of their... they're not as strong, which really shows us that the maelstroms are kind of the center point of their... it's their command structure, and so... The maelstroms are where we're really going to win the war or not. We're not going to win the wars fighting in some installation somewhere. It's going to be inside the maelstrom. That's where the decisive battles are going to take place. Rear Admiral Daniel Perry, the Federal Navy's military liaison to AAAAYGIS, commented, "I serve under Admiral Tanner, and his involvement with these test flights doesn't surprise me one bit." Doesn't surprise me either. This is who he is, and I think it's cool, actually. I really do. He takes pride in never sending personnel on assignments he wouldn't undertake personally. But he's also sending a message. AAAAYGIS will no longer rely so heavily on independent pilots risking their lives. Now, I hope this is not patronizing, but this is a good thing. I will give you this. If I'm wrong about something, if I talk on these videos and I make a commentary, because I'm doing it with the best I can with the information we have and the experience that we have given these organizations, the old AAAAYGIS would not have done something like this. They'd send some poor, nameless pilot, Captain Joe. They'd send him into the maelstrom, and he'd get melted, and he'd be a footnote on a Galnet article, and that'd be the last we hear about it. And then 6 weeks later, one of these guys would come up with some grand solution to the caustic whatever, and we would run a CG, deliver 50,000 tacos to Wolfson Station, and that's it. No. This is different. I like this. This is really in line with who Aden Tanner is. Or at least who he has shown us to be in the past. And believe it or not, there are a lot of great leaders out there who rose to be in the ranks of admirals and generals that did this stuff, that just could not put away the stick, that had to keep flying, that had to keep doing what it is that they originally joined their service to do, the things that they were really good at. They may have been good, good people of strategy at the top, coming up with plans for military operations, but in the end, a lot of them were just really good at whatever specific thing it was they did, whether it was pilot a ship or just fight in combat. So, while commanders of the Pilots Federation are still our most adaptable and reliable field agents, AAAAYGIS will seek to work alongside them wherever possible. Okay. All right. I think that's positive. I'll take it. I'll take it as a win. I'm not going to give these people much credit. I mean, I'm not a big fan of this agency, but this kind of stuff, these are little things. These are little wins that we will take. And kudos to Aden for taking on an extremely dangerous mission and showing everyone that's involved in the struggle that this does go from the top down. The Thargoid threat, it is something that affects every man, woman, and child, every small person, and every admiral, and every emperor, and every president, everyone. It threatens the human species as a whole. And so whatever it is that we're doing has to be shown that we're all in this together. None of us are more special than the others. There are no haves and have-nots. If we don't all do something, none of us are going to have anything. We're going to lose it all. And I like how this is going. So, all right, this is good stuff. Well, great. All right. Thank you, everyone, for watching. If you enjoy this content, become a disciple. Commander Exorcist, patreon.com/Commander Exorcist. Every bit of this support goes into producing this kind of content. It goes into producing out there and the other stuff that I do in relation to Elite, both here on the channel and in my social media. So if you're interested, join and become a disciple. Would love to have you aboard. That is all I have for this week. I will see you next week, same time, same place, and we'll see what's happening in the galaxy. Until then, fly safe, watch your backs, Commanders 07, and I will see you out there.